you got your 12 set in that too. Alright everybody, welcome back to Clark's Place. Today we're gonna get some more work done on the 69 Charger of mine and fit the doors up, fit the fenders up, fit the hood up, and pardon Pop over there. And then actually do some panel gapping. I watched the guys on Geek and Son and they made everything flush, and I didn't do that on this, and I'm gonna be disappointed if I don't. So I'm gonna put it all back together, make sure everything flows and is nice, fender to quarter to hood, all of that good stuff. It fits probably like a good factory or better than factory fit, but I want that reflection to be great down the side of it. So assemble it all, do some panel matching, we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so got fender pretty much where it needs to live, door where it needs to live. I might do a little bit of filler to make where that rocker fits that, but I might also just, when I hang the fender for paint, make sure it's exactly where I want it, because that line's pretty good. Doors lined up pretty good there. This, there's a mounting point underneath. I've got this shimmed up a little bit too high. I've got a thick shim underneath there. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe you can. So I've got it shimmed up a smidge high, and that's putting this a little high, which you can see I can move that down a little bit. And then to get the door matching perfect, I put, you can't see it in there, 30 pounds worth of chain. So now my door shuts perfect, and I like the tight gap. I may grind a little bit off of this and a little bit off of this because it's a little tight. Maybe with chrome on it, it might be touching. But the main thing, like I said, Geek and Son did is panel matching, and just looking at this, you can see this is primer, hasn't been sanded. All that's been block sanded, and that, I guess when I welded the quarter on, I welded it with this in a little bit too far. So when you look at the car from this direction, you can see a little bit where I welded the quarter too far in. So that would probably really bother me when you can stick your finger and catch that edge of that door right there. So right about there is where it should live, and you can see the rest of the door looks pretty good. Maybe the corner down there sticks out just a smidge. I'll bend that in a little bit, but just a little touch. So I'm gonna mud this whole thing, get it latched, get it solid where it needs to live, and do some panel matching with some, I think I'm gonna use this stuff here. You pull gold glaze. I don't need a super thick amount, so I think it should be okay. And then where the fender sticks out a little bit, I can always pull that in just a smidge, and where it mounts underneath, pull that down just a smidge. That might bow the fender out just a little bit, and it might need a little bit of a more body curve to it. So we'll see. I'm gonna throw the other door on, other fender, get the hood set, and then make sure the thing's looking good before paint. Alright, got the fender on there. It has a little stanchion right underneath there that I don't know if you can make out up there. So this, I will put a little spacer and get that to be pushed up a little bit to correct this right here. And it might stretch out the fender a little bit. Plus I got a little wiggle room. I could maybe go up a smidge right there. And that's perfect. I mean, all this door looks pretty darn nice matching up, except this, just the height thing is to kick up a smidge. So the way I mounted these is still this, you can see it's a little high. That's got a chain in the corner of that one to bring it down its level, and should take about 30 pounds worth of pressure with window and regulator, all that good stuff, to bring this down as well. I did that on purpose, knowing that on this rotisserie it's not sitting exactly like it should, but it is kind of flexed in towards the middle, putting pressure on this door if the frame was to give any at all. I mean, it might give a fraction of an inch, but if you look at the line, if it is down, this door I think actually lines up a little better than the other one. So I mean, pretty darn good all the way up. A little bit tight, and I might need to at the top here, if I push that down, it's a little bit too tight right in there. So I might grind a little bit on that, but still, I still want to do, like I said, the Geek and Son guys shamed me into doing this. So I don't think I'm going to panel match this. I think with all the adjustment with the door and the fender, I think that should be fine to get this where it goes. And then yeah, I think just doing these doors is going to be a game changer. You can see all this light gray area. That's shaved down to like bare metal right there. And then you can see that where I welded it, all the way back in there, all that gray is primer that didn't get block sanded as I was blocking this. So I'll lower the door, put some weight in this door as well, get it locked into like right there, even, skim coat it, and then hopefully block both of them together and make this appear all as one. Das die plan, at least. We'll see how it goes. Okay, this is my window regulator, window, and all that weight. So I'm going to put that in the corner of the door to bring that down. Alright, chains and the addition of 3 sledgehammers. Now I have the right weight in there. And look at that. Pretty close. Might need to flex the top of the door up just a smidge. But that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the gap except for right there. I need to adjust that a little bit. Looks like I could take out of this side here, because the door looks pretty rounded, but this kind of comes back and then has a little wiggle to the inside. So Might do some little grinding, a little adjusting, and then I'll plaster the heck fire out of it. But this side, when it's sitting where it's supposed to be, which is right about there, looks like the quarter dives in a little bit, but pretty darn good all the way up and down there. And the gap is like exactly what I would like. This drop down a little bit wider gap, but I can make that up. I got a little room to play, and this is Bondo here in the rocker. I built that up because it caved in when I put the new rocker, because I'm not an excellent body man by any means. But yeah, I got a little bit of room to come back and close that up, but I'm not worried about it because I'm not going to panel match all that. Like I said, I'll just adjust the heck out of it. So we'll see. Bondo time. And by Bondo, I mean this stuff. Hopefully that's good enough to put, I don't know, at most it's going to be 1/8 of an inch thick in that spot right there. So hopefully that'll be good enough stuff for that. We'll see. If it chips out in a year, I'll repaint the car purple. All right, to get the doors on there, I used Dad's patented device. I just screwed those into the console mount, and then now I've got it solid. You can see it's a little bit wiggly, but good enough that I'm not going to be even putting any pressure when I block all this later. So mounted for the win. Very cool.
Okay, the lights are on. They're off. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, now go neutral. That's neutral. They're off. Okay. Now go to drive. Drive. Okay, and they're off. Okay, so this switch? Yes.
All right, I think that's it for this vid. Got it where it's needing to be with the weight in the door, sitting right, tweaked right. This is probably what I will do exactly to paint it once I've done all the underside, trunk, inside, firewall, all that good stuff, inner fenders, all that stuff. And just paint the outer candy shell once it's all put back together and gaps are right and sitting where I should, because I will scratch it most definitely putting it all together if it's all painted. So I think I will do the glazing and everything in the next vid, so keep an eye out for that one. I'll probably do it tomorrow, Sunday. So yeah, go through and probably come back to the highest point of the hip here and just glaze all of this and then block it all together. So that's the plan. Thanks for watching, appreciate it. Talk to you guys.
Thank you.